One consumer advocate says get used to that nauseating feeling that those prices cause. Our investigative producer Heidi Kuda joins me now. You know, Heidi, they were telling us this is a short-term thing, but your interview says no.
Yeah, he says plan on feeling this pain over and over and over again. Jamie Court from Consumer Watchdog says the industry may describe this as a short-term crisis, but we call it an artificial crisis. He says California relies on just 14 refineries for its fuel, and until the state establishes a deeper reserve, we'll keep feeling that pain. So, Jamie, all this pain we're feeling, is this an artificial crisis or is this real? What's going on?
Well, it's a real crisis for us because we're shelling out, 20 cents more than we were yesterday. The problem here is this system is running on empty. The inventories are only 17 days in this state, where in other states it's a month or more. And so when there is a shock to the system, the oil companies can jack up the price of gas literally 20 cents overnight. Companies like Costco or even some gas stations can't afford the shipments they're getting from the oil companies, from the refineries, because the price to them has gone up literally 50 cents, sometimes more. And how are they going to pass that cost on to the consumer? They're not. So some companies are not even taking shipments from the oil companies. It is a terrible, terrible price gouge, and it is completely artificial.
So all these industry experts saying, oh, this is just a short-term crisis, due to the refineries and the trouble and the power outages. What are you saying to that?
Because the oil companies have so little in inventory, and because we've never built as a state a strategic gasoline reserve, which is something that a task force recommended about 10 years ago, we're all going to be feeling pain.
What's the future going to be?
We got to do is create a strategic reserve of the gasoline so that when there's a crisis, the prices don't go through the roof.
Wow. All right, so he's talking all about classic supply and demand, Heidi.
That's right, and he's telling us we need to demand a bigger reserve here in California.
So you can go down the street, you can get your gas at some big name stations. Why is it that the independent stations are the ones who seem to be taking it in the shorts?
Right. We talked to California's Independent Oil Marketers Association. They represent wholesale and retail fuel marketers, and here's what they had to say about that. Independent gas station owners are typically the first to run out of fuel and shut their pumps when spot prices surge because they often lack long-term contracts to buy from suppliers at set prices.
All right, Heidi, thanks very much for that.